What's up everybody, I'm Ross Powers from Air Legends, and today I'm going to explain to you the Apollo Power Light, Soul Sauce, and the whole process. The Apollo Power Light is the only light in the world that is dedicated strictly to shoes. The difference between the Apollo Power Light and other lights you might have heard people using, like reptile lights or plant lights for growing, is that those lights have different bulbs in them for different wavelengths that are necessary for plants or reptiles for the different stages of their lives. Well, all those extra light bulbs are completely useless for the shoes. There's only one light bulb that produces the highest amount of UVB light output, and that is what is effective on shoes. So what we've done is taken all those extra light bulbs that you don't need, gotten rid of them, and we've made the Apollo Power Light, which is made with only that one bulb that has the highest UVB output. So that makes the Apollo Power Light the most efficient, powerful light for clearing your shoes and de-yellowing oxidized rubber. Now, you can use the light to treat several different kinds of shoes: 11s, 5s, 6s, anything with the translucent sole. You can also use it to do the heel tabs on 4s or any type of rubber heel tab that does not involve dye. You cannot use them on Jordan 3 heel tabs as they do have dye in them and it will not work. But what you can use them for on those, as well as 4s, Jordan 1s, and any other shoe with a rubber toe cap or midsole, is you can put the Soul Sauce on here and get rid of the yellowing, and it will turn it to its factory finish. You can use the light and Soul Sauce on any type of translucent sole. It doesn't matter what color it is, it will restore it to its original factory color. So if the sole was blue, it will make it blue again. If the sole was green and glow in the dark, it'll make it green again. And it'll still be fully glow in the dark. It won't affect that property of the shoe whatsoever. So what we're going to get started on next is explaining the process of how you sauce your shoes. What you're going to want to do first is get yourself a cleaner, like our Air Legends cleaner, and a brush. You're going to want to thoroughly scrub the bottom of the shoe to remove all of the different oils and any type of debris that might prevent the light and sauce from doing its job. So after you've thoroughly cleaned it with this, what you're going to do next is take our scuff buffer, which is a pad just like this, and you're going to use this just to get extra clean and remove that very thin layer of microscopic oils and debris that otherwise the brush might miss. It's just a little extra strength just to get it extra clean, because anything that will obstruct the light will stop the light from treating the shoe and making the process work. So what you're going to do next is take your sauce. We recommend using Air Legends Soul Sauce because our sauce is the only sauce on the market that is balanced by a professional chemist to have the highest amount of concentrated peroxide, which is the active agent in the soul sauce equation. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your shoe and you're going to pop the cap. You're going to put a fair amount of sauce on the shoe. You don't want to use too much because you don't want to have to worry about it dripping, and you don't want to use too much because you don't want it to obstruct the light. Because even if you just use too much soul sauce, it will block the light from getting through to the rubber, and of course that's what we want. So what we're going to do now, just go ahead and spread it around like so. Nice layer, not too much, not too little. Just like this. When applying, you want to make sure not to get any sauce onto anything but the rubber. If you're doing 11s, don't get it on the carbon fiber. If you're doing 5s like these, you don't want it to get on the rubber parts of the sole of the shoe, because on some shoes it can lighten the rubber also. So you just go ahead and put a decent layer all around the shoe. And when it comes to doing the sides like this, you just want to take the wet brush and just run it along the side gently. And when you're doing this, you don't need to worry about the sauce touching the midsole. You don't want it on the midsole, but if some of it gets on there, the sauce will not hurt the paint. I repeat, it will not hurt the paint. So don't worry about that. But you don't want to have excess sauce on the sides, because if you do, that can lead to a dripping of gravity, of course, and dripping up onto the upper of the shoe, which can damage the shoe. We do recommend you do not use the sole sauce to do the netting, because if you are to get sauce onto the surrounding fabrics, it can damage them. And also, when it comes time to wash the sauce off, there's no way to do it without getting the whole shoe soaking wet with water. And as we all know, water is not good for suede. So you want to make sure you don't do that. Next, what you want to do is place your shoe underneath the light. And you're going to want to prop it up so that the shoe is nice and flat. That'll prevent any dripping that might happen, because if it's at a slant, of course gravity will make the sauce run downward, and eventually it will run onto the toe cap of the shoe, which can lead to damaging materials. And on certain shoes, like for example Yeezys, it will melt the material, and you do not want that. So I'm going to put Saran Wrap on here. The Saran Wrap will help hold the sauce in place, and it will also prevent it from drying out from the air too quickly. So once you've got it all set up like that, you're good to go. All you've got to do is plug your light in, and you're in business. A lot of people ask how to use the light in terms of how close it should be and how long you should do your sessions for it. As far as how close it should be, you want to have, on average, the light about 9 inches from the light. The closer you have it, the faster the process will occur. The further away, it'll occur a little bit slower. But the higher you hang it, the further the light can spread. And as you can see by the size of my table here, you can fit about 4 pairs safely and neatly, efficiently underneath one light, and do 4 pairs at a time. Now as far as sessions go, I recommend doing 24-hour long sessions. A lot of people ask me, how long does each shoe take to clear? Well, that all depends on each shoe, because it just totally depends on how the shoe was worn and where. If you just wore the shoe indoors on carpet and stuff, your shoe's going to be clean on the bottom. There's not going to be oil and stuff like that. But if you wore it out in the world, and let's say you were walking around at the gas station, you're going to get oil and stuff like that embedded into the sole, and that can take a lot of extra time to get it out of there. Now, if your shoes are dead stock and they've never even been worn and they're just yellowed from age, well then those are going to clear right up very quickly. Typical time for a dead stock pair to clear out is typically about 3 days. For a worn pair that's fairly clean, it'll be about 5 to 10 days. Now if the shoe is very old and has been worn outside and is very yellow, it can take about 10 to 15 days. But again, it all totally depends on the shoe. Sometimes the dark yellow ones that have been worn outdoors, sometimes those clear up in 5 days. Sometimes they clear up in 10 days. It all depends. But one thing I can tell you is we guarantee results with this light. Guaranteed. As far as the light in itself goes, we have 100% warranty on this light. If there's any time that it stops working or a light bulb burns out, all you have to do is send it back to us, which we will pay for shipping and handling for free, and we will either repair your light or replace your light at absolutely no cost to you whatsoever. So after this process is done and your shoe is cleared, what we recommend you do next is put a sole saver on the bottom of it. The sole saver will make it safe for you to wear your shoe outside without worry of stepping into oils or other things like that that might make your shoe yellow again faster. Now, sole savers have a porous grip on them, which means this is not flat. This is gritty. It grips, so it will not slide around on floors like other things you might have heard of. That's about it. If you have any other questions, just shoot me an email to rosspowers@airlegendsla.com. Make sure to check us out on social media, on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is @airlegends, and on Facebook, it's facebook.com/airlegends. Thanks a lot. If anybody's got any questions, just let us know, and we appreciate you guys as always. Take it easy.